Sorry, I have to wait until the record sound starts before I start talking. It's just taking its time. But right now we have 2.06 help. And we have if f of x equals 2x plus 6 and g of x equals x to the third power, what is g of f of x? So we just think of this little o as of. What is g of f of x? Okay, and this looks really tricky, but we just need to take it one step at a time, and the math isn't too difficult. So what we want to do is I want to take whatever letter is second. Hold on, I think I wrote this wrong. It should be, what is g of f of 0? I'm sorry. G of f of 0. So we're going to take that second letter. In this case, that second letter is f. And we are going to plug in 0 into our f of x function. So here's our f of x function. F of x equals 2x plus 6. And we're going to plug in 0 for x because f is our second letter. So f of x equals 2 times 0 plus 6. I'm just plugging in 0 for x. 2 times 0 is 0, and then 0 plus 6 equals 6. Now, that 6 is very important because now I'm going to plug in that 6 into the first letter in parentheses, which is g. So now I'm going to plug it into my g of x function, and I'm plugging in 6 for that x. So g of x equals x to the third power. So it's 6, because that's my new x. Plugging that in here, plugging that into that x. 6 to the third power. And really all that means is 6 times 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36, and 36 times 6 is 216. You can use your calculator and check my math. But our answer should be 216. So all I did is I plugged in whatever number is here. I plugged that into my second letter first, or the letter that's closest to that 0. And then I got an x value, which was 6. And then I plugged it into my first letter, which was g. And I plugged it into my g function for x. Okay, let's try another one. The math isn't too hard. It's just like remembering what order to do it in is the tricky part. So my next one, and I want to show you both because there's a difference here. If f of x equals 7x plus 3 and g of x equals x minus 4, what is f of g of, this should be 8. What is f of g of 8? Okay. Actually, it shouldn't be f of g of 8, it should be f of g of 40. I was doing the math in my head like, wait, something's not right. There we go. F of g of 40. So here, I'm just going to highlight it so you can see the difference. Up here we had g of f, but down here we have f of g. So that means we are going to plug in this 40 into our g function first because it's closest to that 40. Okay, so my g of x equals the square root of x minus 4. And in this case, my x is 40. Well, 40 minus 4 is 36. And the square root of 36 is 6. Oh, that's funny. It's the same new x value. So that's my new x. And now I'm going to plug that new x in for f, or into the f of x function. f of x is 7x plus 3, and my new x is 6. 7 times 6 is 42, and 42 plus 3 is 45. And that's our answer. So just know which function you're plugging in this number that's here into first, and it's always like the one that's closest to it. And then you're going to take that x and plug it into the other function. Okay, and that's it. The math is pretty simple. You might need to use a calculator. Remember, I always recommend that you use the Desmos scientific calculator. And that's an app that you can get or a website. So you can get the app or you can look it up on the website. And you just Google Desmos Scientific Calculator and you'll get that. But that's it. Hopefully it helps.